pjnet.tv. Good evening. It is 9 p.m. and surprise, surprise, we have Dale Didway standing by. The Golden Tones, the man. And he's waiting on me to shut up. We're running the bumper. We're streaming. And I didn't hit record, so we're going to hit record. Got it. That's why we have the checklist. All right. Nothing else to wait on. Let's count it down to Studio 13, starting now. Good evening and welcome to pjnet.tv. I'm Coach Prasick, and we are going to have some fun tonight. Many of you were just so disappointed last night when you came by to see Dale Didway, and he wasn't here, and it was known somewhat in advance that he would not be. Dale, you had a great excuse for not being here last night.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying all the folks miss me. That makes me feel good. But
you send me a check.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I had promised my wife I'd go to a show with her last night, and I forgot. It was weeks ago. I mean, a long time ago. And Monday night she said, "Oh yeah, we're going to the show." Or Monday, I was like, "Oh, that's tomorrow night."
Now, what manner of show are you referring to?
It was the Springfield Symphony's tribute to Judy Garland, who would have been 100 years old or something like that this year.
I'm sorry I missed that. I am just...
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I like the symphony sometimes, but it wasn't bad. So.
And are you still in that? Are you in part of that cold weather, storm, snow stuff in April?
Yeah, we were. It's mighty cold yesterday and today, but it's starting to heat up a little bit. And it was really cold and rainy the last several days. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of spit and snow. So it has snowed on Easter before, but it's cold right now. It's cold outside right now.
In these parts, we don't consider it safe from frost until Easter, but we
had a freeze this morning. It was I think it was 29 when we got up.
Oh man, I was outside today running, and it was like 78. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
No. Well, Dale, I know we don't talk politics very much anymore, but I got word that you had sued the state of Ohio.
Well, yes, I was a plaintiff. In fact, we just got word right before we went on that I was part of a plaintiff group. A good friend of mine, I'm trying to call the email up here, Mike Ganadakis, who's the president of Ohio Right to Life. He asked me if I would join forces with him and several other of our friends across the state of Ohio and be named as a plaintiff against the state of Ohio. Long story short, it was the redistricting was going to affect several of our pro-life seats in our legislature. So we sued the state of Ohio. And it's got emailed today that we've won, and I thought that's kind of cool. So I'm 1-0 in my lawsuits, and I hope to keep it that way. But once I find out more information, I'm not going to read this email. It's like a couple of my devotional books put together. It's very lengthy.
Yeah.
So it says, congratulations, you've won. So cool.
Oh. Well, I know that you're so relieved, and the check's in the mail, right?
Yeah. No. So
no, it's not.
No checks in the mail. But we got a lot of things going on. We had that, which I got to learn a little bit more about before it hits the news tomorrow. I won't be asked for any comments. Nobody wants to talk to me, so that's a relief. And if I am, I have my talking points, what to say, and that's no comment. But I'm good at that one. So, something going on here Tuesday night here in our hometown. I won't be here for it, but my wife is involved with our local Right to Life, or a chapter. And a few years ago, we brought in Pam Tebow to speak as educational and inspirational talk and educate people about the right to life and sanctity of life. And several years ago, we brought in Gianna Jessen. I don't know if you know who she is.
Doesn't ring a bell.
She survived a partial birth abortion.
I know. I did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we brought her in to speak, an educational thing. It was really well attended. I mean, it was really, we thought would have about 300 people, and man, we had like I think 1,200, something like that. We were trying to find chairs and put out. But Tuesday night, we're actually bringing in Abby Johnson, who was obviously very involved with Planned Parenthood and that movie Unplanned.
Mm-hmm.
She was
Mm-hmm.
the featured person, the character
Mm-hmm.
there. So she's coming in here on Tuesday evening to speak at our local university, and it's an educational event, but it's also you like to raise some funds if possible.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll be helping putting that on, but I'll be out of town.
Well, it is exciting because you realize a year ago this just wasn't happening.
Oh yeah, you can do anything, and with all the lockdowns and everything else, and the left wing going crazy. So yeah, now it's hopefully. Well, we still got a reversal today from the CDC about the mask. I don't call it mandates. The mask unlawful tyranny going on. So there was CDC says that they should wear them, and so Joe Biden's lost. He'll say one thing one day and one thing the next. He doesn't know what day it is, so you don't know. You can't turn to him for anything. So who knows if we'll be wearing masks tomorrow on airplanes or not? So I think it might have been one day lived. So
okay. I've got Heart of the Hoosier up here.
Yeah, I see that.
You've got so many books. I don't ever really know which one. I mean, you are a maniac. I mean, you're just turning out books like crazy. But it is basketball season, isn't it?
No, March Madness just ended. Yeah.
Wow, great, good. We'll pay tribute to basketball season.
It's okay.
But your
You
newest
got the NFL
book,
draft coming up. Yeah, the newest book, Sports Shorts, is still a new release, still doing well. It's still a #1 new release on Amazon, which is kind of cool. It's like 3 weeks in a row. And anybody who hasn't done a review, please do. And if if I sent you a book, it's not expected, but it's kind of appreciated, to do that. And we know how important Amazon reviews are for some reason.
Yeah, but I can't prove I bought it.
It don't matter anymore. If there's a way around that. You can take a picture and put it on the on your review. You like holding the book, and if you don't say my friend Dell, something like that, you can just say, hey, author Dell Duduit or author Mark Tracy.
Keep a little distant. Yeah, keep distant.
Yeah, act like you don't know me, and then. Some will say validate with a picture, and you can put a picture of. Take it.
I didn't know that. I've been reluctant to do that because it's
do
like
that and I'll send you $5.
Okay, well I'll cash the check.
Hey, but yeah, that's doing well. We've got 2 coming out this fall. The Florida and the Florida State books. We're excited about those. So we got the covers the other day. They look awesome. And then we just sent a proposal to Kyle Young, my agent, on Monday, and with some high hopes for something. So hopefully that'll turn out for next year.
Yeah, you need something else to do.
Yeah, and I'm talking to another publisher. I was on the phone last week, and with another possibility. And I'm going to talk to iStream about continuing the football, not football, but just the devotional series. They like the SEC for some reason. I like real football, but they like the SEC, and so had to get my plug in there for the Big Ten.
Dale, that's half the nation.
I know. So we think it might be exciting to. We're talking about who to do next. If we do continue the
Army
series.
Navy.
Yeah, we're thinking about the SEC staying in the SEC, and then in 2 years you have Texas and Oklahoma coming into the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
So they're bringing the Red River rivalry, Red River rivalry to the SEC. So that might be a good way to welcome those 2 schools in. So we'll see what happens with them.
Yeah. It's football season is all year, and I was thinking about you today because the NFL draft's coming up. Yeah. And Cincinnati did they did too well.
Yeah, they made some really good moves in the offseason, though. They've made some really good moves, even beyond my expectations. They really beefed up their line. They've got some folks away from Tampa who, the guys protect Brady. So if they protect Brady, they got to be pretty daggone good. So even with Brady coming back, they still were able to lure one of their best offensive linemen out away. They got a new center. They got another new guard. So they're making really good moves in the offseason right now to beef up that line and give Burrow a little bit more protection. So, and they've got a really tough schedule. They've got, I think, the third toughest schedule in the NFL next season. So it's going to be hard.
Well, I don't. I know it seems kind of mundane, when it's not football season. But
Right.
I don't know that people realize that championship teams are built during the off season.
Well, they getting ready to start the voluntary workouts, and you know what that means. Involuntary workouts mean you better be there,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had the USFL, whatever it is, started this weekend, but nobody's watching that. So,
Yeah. Who cares?
there's a reason why those leagues never make it.
Well,
They do need a break. I mean, they need a little break. They go 16, 20 weeks of NFL football. You have Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, Saturday night. You have football every night.
Do you remember when NFL football season was over? I mean, it's a 10-game season, and the Super Bowl was like the second week of January.
Yeah.
And the Pro Bowl.
I do remember that.
Or the Pro Bowl was the fourth week of January, and they had to, they have to hold the Pro Bowl in Hawaii, otherwise they couldn't get anybody to go.
Well, now it's in Vegas, so.
And
but still, nobody go. Never go. It's just nothing but a glorified practice.
It's a scrimmage, yeah.
Nobody wants to hit each other. Nobody wants to do anything.
No, I wouldn't risk my risk injury over something like that. Would you?
No. But so the draft's coming up. A lot of hype and excitement. You got the LA League trying to make its debut, and I was on a show the other day, and these leagues never make it. I mean, the only thing that came out of the XFL years ago was that camera down in the huddle. That that's where that came from. Vince McMahon, when he tried that XFL, that's the only good thing that came out of that was that camera that would go down, and so that's stuck around, and now the NFL has that. So the only good thing to come out of that, you had to, I don't know, it was kind of a waste of money and time, but right, they're playing right now. It's not a good time to sit in and watch football. You got spring, you got baseball going on, you got little league games going on outside. Nobody wants to stay inside and watch football unless you're just really sad. Yeah,
and you're right, enough's enough. But I feel bad for the old players, Gale Sayers, Bart Starr, and all, Dandy Don, because their records can't hold up when the new quarterbacks are playing 60% more games.
Well, plus back then, Cornelius didn't throw the ball much. It was all running game, so it didn't really start hitting the airwaves till like stop around. But it had a little glitch there. We back on?
Yeah.
Right.
I wondered what happened.
Yeah. So, but it's going off, but I don't think it's getting much activity going on. But we had a good week last week. Our first week out in the field with the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. We spent the week up in Youngstown, Ohio. Mm-hmm. And, spend the week next week in Louisville, Kentucky. And it's a lot of fun. And getting ready for the Franklin Graham visit to Youngstown here in a few months. So a lot of fun last week. I really enjoyed it.
Well, I listened to the podcast on the Holy Week, and I haven't listened to the others.
Okay.
But this is serious. I mean, most podcasts are just sort of like the obligatory, I went to a conference, I was told to do this. Blogs are kind of the same way, and you can tell they're not a whole lot of effort going into it. But I could tell that just the team that's been put together. But how do you get everybody huddled up? But you've got a marathon recording session later this week.
Yeah. We don't rehearse anything. We just like you and me. We just start talking. We don't prepare. I mean, we prepare. We know what we're talking about, but we don't get anything ahead of time. We get on like we'll be getting on Friday, and we'll say, all right, these four are on, and this is what we're going to do, and such directs it, and let's just go a half hour. Okay. and so we have a good time, and I mean, we're professional enough not to dominate, and you talk, a minute and a half to 2 minutes, and you shut up and let the next person talk. So, and it's a lot of fun. We did the one on the Holy Week. We've done a lot of others. We're doing 4 or 5 shows Friday. So with Kyle and Michelle and Bethany and Andy and Britt and Julie. So a lot of fun.
There's a lot. Well, a lot of work goes into these things,
There are a lot of work into them. Yes.
and it's like anything else. It amazes me, when we watch a production, or listen
Yeah.
to a podcast, you know, what fascinates me is a football game, even at the high school level,
Yeah.
is an amazing feat to put on. And you don't know because, well, you do know when something goes wrong. That's when you realize that there are so many details.
Yeah.
I have, and back in the day, high school teams would be traveling by a school bus
Yeah.
before the days of GPS. I mean, just finding our school was a miracle.
Yeah.
It's
I
out
remember
in
those.
the middle of nowhere. But I had this idea. I wonder if it would fly.
Yes.
Hospitality and respect is so big in high school football. When you're the home team, the other team comes. Part of my job was to welcome the other team and get them situated, in the locker room, show them where the ice cooler. We provided ice for them.
Yeah.
But I had an idea. Wouldn't it be neat if, sponsored by a church, if you could tell the visiting team, come on in, get here, early, and after the game, we're gonna have we're gonna cook both teams a meal, and just and I thought the potential for that to go wrong is very high, but the potential for it to go right. What do you think?
We had that back here actually.
Huh?
My wife and I volunteered at our local high school in the football concession stand for years. And if you can run a concession stand in high school football, you can do anything. So we would always make sure that we had enough pizza and hot dogs for the entire team and their staff after the game, win or lose, and we would make sure we had buckets of Gatorade or whatever, water or whatever, sent into them all the time. So we actually did a lot of that. And I remember when my youngest son, we went to Puerto Rico to play baseball in a baseball tournament down there for a week. After the game, the other team would host us, and it was kind of considered rude if you didn't sit down and eat with the folks you just beat the tar out of. So, but a lot of fun. But yeah, we do that. We do that back here in Ohio. A lot of the moms will get together like on basketball nights, and they'll cook a bunch of hot dogs and soup. And after the game, they'll have it for the other team to come in and eat if they traveled a long way.
Well, yeah, at my school, you did travel a long way. I mean, it was there's nothing, and there's nowhere to eat. And after a football game, I mean, it's just, I thought it'd be kind of nice to foster some hospitality. And I remember a tradition, I know we're running out of time, but a tradition that is going away, it's not completely gone, but it happened at every game. At halftime, the home team cheerleaders would go to the other side, do a cheer for the visiting fans, and then they would hold hands with the cheerleaders and they'd run back to our side and they would do a cheer for our side. And I thought, this is healthy. This is America. I wish we saw more of that.
Well, I didn't see that a lot because I was either in the locker room before or after the game of football. But you have to talk to Michelle about that. She's the resident cheerleader on staff. So
there you go.
Get her intake on that. I'm sure she can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, and it was such a low-tech world back then. I mean, if we did that today, I would put listening devices and hidden cameras where the visiting team was to see if I could pick up some information, perhaps.
Yeah, you went to the Bill Belichick School of Spying, didn't you?
Well, I've got another trick. You can't do it at high school, but you know how most fields there's a concrete wall that's right behind the bench, and they got those fans, with a little mist. Well, what I would do is on the visiting side, I would put carbon dioxide instead of as the mist, and they'd sit there and inhale all this stuff and get themselves winded, trying to and that's just part of the home, or have a little tunnel in the concrete wall that leads back to a laughing gas or something like that, and just get them drunk.
Y'all do it different down in Florida. No, it's always exciting. A lot of good things going on here right now. The job's going great. The book's going well. I reduced my clientele load with as an agent, and I've handed that off to somebody else. And I still have a handful, but that's about all I'm going to be doing because of his other responsibilities with Billy Graham. So I have to do that, but I'm still having a good time. I mean, still busy.
That's a good thing. Well, Dale, we have to be disciplined on the time tonight. Normally you're on at
I know.
9:30, and we can go all night, but
Yep.
we gotta slide out of here and make room for Jake McCandless. But Dale, I appreciate you one notifying us you couldn't be here last night. We survived it, and I hope that you enjoyed that show.
It was a good show.
Well,
And for a little while, I was ready to leave, but.
Yeah. Well, it's right.
And you learn something about Amazon reviews now. If you put a picture up, and
I know,
and you don't say the author,
I'll take you up on it.
And maybe conveniently misspell my name or something like that. They'll say, "Well, Mark doesn't know him; he's misspelled his name." Hey, there's always I got all the ways around things, man.
Yeah, you're incredible, Dale. All right, well, Dale, listen, go enjoy yourself and get out of that cold weather. And we appreciate you sharing with us tonight, as you always do. And we'll see you next time around. And
in a couple weeks.
Compare notes then, my man.
All
right. Well, folks, I've been working. I've installed a new camera over there, and there's my Coach Prasic PJ Net mug. Okay. Just one of the many exciting things we do here at pjnet.tv. Okay, that wraps it up for Dell, but Jake McCandless is on his way, who is also rescheduled, and he'll provide an excuse for his lack of appearance. Anyway, we'll find out. Until then, here, listen, ask yourself a couple questions, and together they form a challenge. So here, you ready? What is the boldest thing that you've ever done for Jesus Christ? The second question, well, when was that? The challenge is to never be satisfied with either answer.